Pledge.
Yes, everybody mute yourself. Begin after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You're muted, Chris.
Tom, will you give us the thought of the day, please?
I will. Since we have the rotor actors with us today and some younger people and a younger generation, I thought I would do is recite some lessons from my mother. My mother taught me about the weather. She says, Tom, clean up your room. It looks like a tornado hit it. My mother taught me about religion. You better pray that comes out of the carpet. My mother taught me about osmosis. Shut your mouth and eat your supper. My mother taught me about receiving. You're going to get it when we get home. My mother taught me about genealogy. She says, Tommy, shut that door. You think you were raised in a barn? My mother said, one day you'll have kids. I hope they turn out just like you. And finally, my mother taught me about logic. Because I said so, that's why. That's my thoughts for the day.
Good, thank you. I don't see our speakers yet, Phil.
Just let me know whenever they get there. I'll pop in. So
okay, we'll do some announcements then. Steve, I'd like you to talk again about March 4th and with a little more detail on the locations that we're going to hit.
You're muted, Steve.
Steve, you're muted.
I can read your lips, but I can't hear you.
Sorry about that.
Oh, and Steve, if you can give us an update on the bin on Cotner that Sean's trying to get.
Okay, Ben, jump in where you think appropriate. So we're doing our next cleanup on Saturday, March 4th, a week from this coming Saturday. We're actually going to do it at 2 locations. We're returning to Cotner, and we're going to be more narrowed focus to pretty much from Santa Monica South and like Missouri North or LaGrange North. That's where the primary need is. That's where the rubbish is heaviest. And then the other location is going to be the CVS on Westwood Boulevard and Wellworth. There's also some homeless there. And so we're going to break our group into 2. Half the group will walk to the CVS and the other half will walk down to Cotner. Last time we walked to Cotner and it wasn't too bad. 10-minute walk. I think it's a 10-minute walk for each one. So yeah, we're focusing on 2 different areas. Same as before, we're looking to our Rotarians family and friend, the Rotor Actors, YMCA volunteers to come out en masse like before. Last time we had 35 people. This time we're hoping that we can handle 50. Well, we can handle 50 people. We're just hoping we have 50 people there. But if it's another 35, that'd be awesome as well. But we're really trying to get as many people as possible out there. We're really going to be pushing safety. Not that we weren't last time, but we got a little sloppy last time, to be frank with everyone. We need to keep our masks on. We need to be wearing hats. We need to be protecting our eyes. We need to be double gloved. We need to be wearing long pants and long shirts and masks, of course. And just be cognizant that the stuff that we're encountering, that it's not just a little wrapping paper. Some of it's pretty messy stuff. So we need to be prepared we need to keep safe. And so we're really going to push that. We're also going to actually, I've been working with the district. For those who remember Scott Clifford, past district governor, he's been helping me work on a release form. He says it's not totally necessary, but our collaborating agency, West LA Homeless, they're pushing it. So we're going to go ahead and have a release form that we're all going to sign that day. So I don't know. We're going to have a truck again. We're hoping to get a bin, a big garbage bin. that will accommodate a lot of the bags rather than wait until Monday for it all to be picked up. So again, Sean McMillan from West LA Homeless is an invaluable member of our team, and his organization is just invaluable. We couldn't pull it off without them. So I think that's it for now. I see we have some guests, so I'll drop off now. No, I won't drop off. I'll just stop talking. Thank you, everyone. Please sign up.
Are the speakers on? Sarah?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. How is everyone?
Oh, Sarah, so you're the team.
Yes.
Okay, so hold on for 1 second. Hold on.
Okay.
By the way, everybody, I want to say something. I want to have Diane's husband, Frank's, in our prayers, having surgery, and Jim Crane was hospitalized. I don't know why, but everybody sort of take a moment, just send their healing thoughts to them, and then we can begin our program. Okay? I just want to forget.
Thank you.
So
All right, Phil, will you introduce our speaker, please?
Yep. So our guest speakers are from Emerson Community Charter Middle School, and they represent the speech and debate class. And there's 3 of them, plus their teacher. I'll have them step up, and they can introduce themselves and the grade and their position on the team, and take it away.
By
Welcome.
the way, Sarah, can we have a debate with you? Can we debate
If
on
we
the
have
topic?
some time, so we do have a different schedule today. So I actually pulled these kiddos from their class. So as soon as they finish, I'm gonna need to send them back. But hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Karasik. I teach honors math and science for 6th graders at Emerson. I am also the coach for speech and debate, and I'll let my lovely 8th graders take it away from here.
Hi, I'm Sophia and I'm in 8th grade.
Hey, I'm Merrick. I'm in 8th as well.
I'm Elia and I'm in 8th grade. Elia and I are actually the co-captains for Emerson's speech and debate team, and Merrick is a lovely mentor.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we at Emerson, we focus on like 2 main sides, and that's like obviously speech and debate. And for debate, there's one main event called SPAR that we do here. And what happens in that event is it's like spontaneous debate. So you get a topic, you're given 2 minutes to prep on it, and then you present 3 points about that topic and about your side and like why people should agree with your side. And then your opponent does the same. And then after that, you go into cross-ex, which is where you like ask questions about the topic. And then after that 4-minute time period is over, then you go into rebuttal, where you kind of go over what you guys went over in cross-ex, and you talk about like why your argument still stands versus your opponents, and like what they said that made their argument invalid. There are also other types of debate that we don't really do here. There's Congress, where you get like a government resolution and you like you're given like months to prep on it. Or there's Lincoln Douglas, where you work with other people and like prepare arguments and you go up against other schools. But here we really just focus on SPAR.
So for the other side, which is speech, we mostly focus on an event called storytelling. This is usually the event where all the 6th graders participate in. This event is a 5-minute piece of a performance based on a children's picture book. So usually we have 5 minutes with a 30-second grace period, and we are allowed 1 prop, which is a chair. Some other events are humorous interpretation, which is basically a 10-minute piece of a humorous piece. And we also have dramatic interpretation, which is a dramatic piece. There's also written events, such as persuasive and informative, that we also do here.
Okay, so we've all been here for around 3 years. However, our first 2 years, all of our tournaments were online. And starting this year, it's kind of been a new experience for us because we're competing in person now. So it's actually really fun, and everyone gets to kind of hang out. And then if you do well in your 4 tournaments, like throughout the year, then you can go to states and nationals. In states, we basically compete in everyone against everyone in California, and in nationals, it's against the country.
And something I'd like to add on is that based on the 4 events, or not the 4 events, the 4 tournaments throughout the school year, based on if you place in those events, that determines if you are allowed to go to the championships or state tournaments or nationals. And do you want to talk about like great differences this year versus last year?
Sure. Yeah, so this year there's like obviously it's different because we're in person. But really like the tournaments still work the same way. Like you get in a room with 6 different people entered in your event. So if I was entered in spar, then I'd be like with 6 other kids and I'd spar one of them and the judge would rank all of us. And then you would go to finals. And if you go to finals, like you definitely get a trophy. And so we actually have a trophy case at Emerson. And normally we take our trophies home, but with the ones that we don't take home, it looks like really, really cool. Like they're really big, especially in like bigger tournaments like states and mats. Yeah. Oh, no.
Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, Phil.
So to Benjamin's point, perhaps if we can get the cooperation of their teachers, Sarah and Emerson, maybe we can invite them to one of our meetings and they could do a miniature spar at one of our lunches. And maybe they can do like a 3-on-3, maybe 3 7th graders versus 3 8th graders, or they can mix it up, and it would be a lot of fun to see you guys.
Sure, we can definitely plan to do that. Definitely.
We'd love to do that. And we'll set it up. We have an open date March 9th, and then we have some dates in May.
It'll
I have a question.
probably have to be in May.
Okay.
I would like
Phil?
to,
Sarah,
I would like to debate.
Sarah,
I would like to debate one of them. Can I-
Okay.
And can we set up a,
hey Sarah.
Yes,
Hey Sarah, can you take down my number, please, and call me later?
sure. Let me get a
It's
post.
310. Okay.
I can get it on my phone.
310
985
985.
4488.
Okay.
And call me later this afternoon when you get a free minute.
All right. I see
Thank
we have
you.
more questions.
Chris,
Sarah?
I've got a question.
Please go ahead.
Hi, I have a question for the group. Can you give us an example of some of the issues that you guys have been debating?
So they can range. So typically with 6th graders, we have them start off with novice spar, which means that like everyone who's competing is like the same level as them. Like they've only like this is their first time competing. But as you compete more and you compete in spar against like people with more experience, the topics can get like harder and harder. Like yeah. So I've debated everything from like cats are better than dogs to like the United States should pull out of NATO. Like it really depends on where you are in the competition. But the topics can get like really, really serious. I've debated things against like abortion and about people's opinions on like our current president or presidents we have in the past, people's opinions on like democracy or Roe v. Wade. Like it gets really intense depending on where you are.
Thank you.
I have a question for y'all. So I'm in college. My name is Sarah. I'm a 3rd year here at UCLA at Rotaract. And I want to say first, this is amazing. This is an amazing club that y'all are part of. If I was in 8th grade, I don't know if I'd be. I was playing the clarinet in 8th grade, but I definitely wasn't doing speech and competition. So I just want to say, like, as someone that's only a few years younger, this is amazing to see, and I see that y'all have a bright future ahead. And maybe I'll get to see you debating some really big television things. But I want to ask you, why did you join this, and how do you think it has benefited you since you've been in 3 years, even though you started online? Where do you think you started, and how do you think you've progressed till now?
Yeah. You start. Okay. So I joined because my brother had previously also been in speech and debate, and I would watch the in-person tournaments before COVID hit. And I really got inspired by like the events that I watched, and I really wanted to join. this club. And when I first joined and it was online, I was really a shy person and I was not confident at all speaking. But now, like, I'm here now and I'm co-captain, and I feel like this has been like a confidence booster, and now I feel more comfortable speaking publicly. And I just overall, I really enjoy being here as well. And I've met so many great people throughout the years.
So to be honest, I joined speech and debate because the previous captain of the speech and debate said that when we competed in tournaments, they kind of had a pizza party. So that's kind of why I joined. But then while I've been here, it's been really fun. It made me a lot more confident speaking in public. I met these two people and they're super nice, super friendly. I've made a lot of friends. And it's really just a fun experience.
Yeah. So I joined because I was like on a Zoom for orientation and I was listening to whichever lady was in charge of Miss Feedback talk about it. And it just sounded like really interesting, and it seemed like a lot different than like all the other academies. And I always enjoyed like watching structured debates and how they seem, and I kind of wanted to like participate in that. And also in-person tournament sounded really fun, and I wanted kind of like, oh my God, we get to leave school early to eat pizza. That sounded awesome. And when I started, I was like really like uncomfortable in my own skin. Like I was not very confident getting people to listen to me. And I wasn't very confident in myself, like just in general. And as I've progressed throughout speech and debate, it helped me feel so much more comfortable, like as a person. And throughout middle school in general, like it offered such like a safe space to sort of like learn and grow, especially socially. And so I feel like it has just benefited me in so many ways. I made, friends. I've gotten to be co-captain with Elia, which has been just so awesome. And I've gotten experiences that I never would have gotten without it. So
Thank you for all your wonderful responses. I also in high school, I did mock trial and then also did academic decathlon. I did speech. And yes, like public speaking can be really scary, and it can be still a little scary when you're older. But I can promise you that the experiences that you're getting now are going to be much more worthwhile. They're going to be core memories of you growing up. All of you are very well spoken and very eloquent with your words. It's amazing that you're speaking at this level as an eighth grader. I couldn't be prouder of you, even though I just met you. But keep doing what you're doing, and I hope you continue to do in high school. And if you happen to be at UCLA, maybe I'll see you if I come by the campus.
Thank you.
we're proud of us too.
Yeah, I would like to echo Sarah's comments. I think some of us who have our own businesses, we hire people who are technical people. We also hire people who are personal and have good people skills. And I cannot emphasize how important it is, some of the skills that you're learning currently. They will serve you for many, 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 many years throughout your entire working career and throughout your personal life. Just the ability to talk comfortably in front of other people. Don't take it for granted. Understand that it's a gift that you've given to yourself. And I would like to encourage you to keep it up.
Thank you.
Ben, you had a question?
Yes, it sounds like I'm looking at 3 upcoming attorneys. Are you guys planning on being lawyers? Because you have a gift of gab or a head of a sales organization. What do you want to do when you grow up individually?
I have definitely considered being a lawyer. I know people who have told me that I could go into that sort of job when I'm older. Currently, I am not sure what I'd like to pursue in the future, but I am considering doing that.
Yeah, so I'm also not very sure. My dad's a doctor, so I also kind of want to be a pediatrician, but I don't know. I feel like speech and debate just kind of helps with everything.
Well, yeah, a doctor has to have good bedside manner. So you're absolutely right.
I kind of just I'm not really sure. I wanted to be like president when I was little, so maybe I'll like revisit that. But as for right now, I kind of just want to see where things take me. But I think speech and debate has definitely influenced the areas in which I'd want to work. Like being an attorney sounds awesome. You go.
So can you take your mask down for a minute? I want to look at the first women's president of the United States. Please pull it down. There you go. All right, I can see you now. All right.
I hope that it's not the first female president.
Well,
That
you
would
know what? You're right. You're right.
Phil,
So we
go ahead.
probably have time for 2 more questions, and then I have to send them back to their class.
Okay.
I
Phil.
just want to echo what Chris said and Sarah said, that being able to be proficient in speech and debate is going to stay with you the rest of your lives, not just for tournaments, but in real life when you have to advocate for yourself and advocate for friends or families, maybe in the hospital, your mother maybe in the hospital, and you need to advocate for her. The skills you're learning now, you're going to use in real life all the time, probably daily. And I don't think you realize it now, but the more that you learn how to interact and gather information is going to be a huge life skill that you're well on your way to learning now. So I'm very, very proud of you ladies and the whole team.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Any other questions?
Chris Bradford, maybe?
Chris?
Chris has had his hand up since before the arrival of Columbus.
Yeah, I already asked my question, and I'm equally impressed with the group. I think some of you ought to look at a law career. It comes in very handy with what you're doing.
I just want to say that it is completely okay to not know what you want to do because you're still in 8th grade. Not saying that's an age thing, but it's just all of you have so much potential. So let yourself explore what you are passionate about. You have so much that you can do, and the whole world's literally at your hands. So take this time. I know you're still young, but take the time, cherish what you have, and then you can conquer the world with what you already have.
And one suggestion, get involved in Interacts, and then get involved in Rotaracts, and then come back to Rotary, okay? Interacts at your school, okay?
Good.
Well, thank you so much for allowing us to come speak with you guys. And I will definitely be calling Philip either today or tomorrow to see when we can plan to actually come in and show you guys an actual spar.
We would love it, and we look forward to it.
Thank you.
Great. I'm going to take them back to class. Thank you guys again so much for allowing us to come into your meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is wonderful.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right, let's all reflect back when we were in 8th grade. I think they're growing up a little bit faster these days.
I think it's amazing. They have so much potential. I think I've never been so excited to like listen to 8th graders talk. They're so passionate. They're so graceful in their words and their speech. It's amazing. I love the confidence that speech and debate has given them, and I really hope it's something that other schools can implement as well.
Yeah, so we have a couple of minutes, actually more. I'll share with you very briefly. I was called for jury duty last week, and they didn't call me for Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, and so I thought I'm 60% through the week. And when I called on Wednesday night, they said, "We'd love to have you." So I went to report, and then I find out that I'm assigned for a jury. That's a large civil matter, and it was going to be for 20 days. And it's a very important civil litigation, and I was most interested in the outcome. But we started with 46 jurors in the pool, and yesterday they excused 34.
Oh.
So they had to go back and get another pool. I was among the ones that were excused, but it was quite fascinating because, what you see on TV is not what happens in the courtroom. And, you first hear from the plaintiff's attorney and they're explaining to you how to be an impartial juror, and they're not giving you the facts of the case, but they're talking around it. And he spoke for the entire day, soliciting opinions from the jury pool to determine whether or not you could be independent. So that happened on Tuesday, and then Wednesday it was the defendant's opportunity to not only echo but to determine, could you be independent on this type of case. So it was, very fascinating, and we spent, nearly 2 full days just determining who was going to be eligible for the jury pool, and they hadn't even started the trial.
So why were you excused, Chris? What?
I told him that I was biased. It was an asbestos case, and I told him that I could not be independent. And so that's why they're having such a difficult time putting together a pool of people.
Steve, they don't want somebody like Chris, educated, accomplished, grammatically correct, can manipulate the jury. Those attorneys, those litigators are intimidated by anybody that can take control of a jury and not them.
Mark, I would like to comment on that.
Go ahead, knock yourself out.
If you would have seen the people who were reported to call,
yeah,
you wouldn't raise that comment. There were doctors there, there were attorneys there, there were other professionals, and the questions that people were asking, I was very impressed. It was a very well-educated pool.
I'm doing it now.
Actually, in a case like that, you'd want an educated jury. I kind of laughed. I got on a wife abuse case, and I think what they left me on as an attorney is because I indicated that at one time I was a deputy district attorney and also a public defender. So I was surprised I was left on, but I was there for 4 days and came to a verdict.
Yeah, well, they left one of the attorneys, or a couple of attorneys were still remaining out of the pool. But it's an eye opener, and I would have been very interested in the defense's presentation.
Chris, can I introduce our two guests?
Yes, please do.
Gee, I'm sorry, Nancy left. I would like to introduce to you Meyer Nemetsky, and Yang Chen, both of whom have expressed interest in membership in Rotary. And we've been corresponding via email. Chris, Tom, Barron, Diane have been on the emails, and I invited them not only to come here today and see our in-person version, but next week as well. Our Zoom version today. Our next week is an in-person version at the Hill on Hillgard Avenue, gentlemen, and Strathmore, adjacent to the east side of the UCLA campus. Also inviting both of you to join us at 9 o'clock Saturday morning, March 4th, for a monthly cleanup of homeless encampments. Kind of a humbling experience. And I hope that you'll find Rotary a part of your life, and then share with us a dedication to making the world a better place.
Yes.
Most of these guys believe in that, Meyer, but not all of them. There's a couple lawyers here. No.
No, Meyer or Yang, do you have any questions that you would like to ask of us?
Can I speak?
Yes, please.
It's less a question and more a comment. I
Yes.
just wanted to thank Mark for inviting me in. I just met Mark probably about a week ago. Actually, we've never met in person. I'm a real estate agent. He's a real estate agent. I was sitting on a house. His wife came in and saved my day because I was having a lot of trouble with this house. And 24 hours was a done deal. So I just want to give him, a hat tip gratitude for both for the business and for inviting me to come and observe what it is that you guys do. I have had very little exposure before this.
I think that next week will open up your eyes. If you have an opportunity to come to the meeting, we have an extraordinary speaker. She is a survivor of sex trafficking, and very few of them feel comfortable talking. And I've had the opportunity to hear her once before, and when people are not familiar with the subject and they think it only happens in areas that are outside of where they live, or they think it happens internationally, when you hear what she has to say, it's going to open up everybody's eyes. And on March 4th, when we do the cleanup, all of us have driven by homeless encampments, and we normally just look straight ahead. We don't look to the right, we don't look to the left. When you get out and walk the streets and you're interacting with the people, some of them asked if they could help clean up, and we gave them shovels and bags. It's gut-wrenching to see how well some of us live and how poorly others do. And so we're hopeful that this new project that we did previously on January 28th and now on March 4th will capture more and more enthusiasm, and we will be able to continue doing it on a monthly basis. But I think coming and actually seeing a hands-on project is entirely different than hearing about it. Yes, Phil.
A couple questions. We didn't hear from Yang at all. I'd like to hear Yang say something about himself in a minute. And then, are they doing anything in between to try and mitigate the trash? Is there any program the city is trying to work on to get those areas so that they're not so terrible at the end of the month that we have to redo the whole thing? Because eventually people are going to get burnt out cleaning the same place every, once a month. Is there any progress on?
Yeah, I think Ben can respond to that.
Well, Phil, your guess is as good as ours. Even the council people, including the mayor's office, can't control what's going on right now. It's going to be a long process. So I think one of the things that we are doing is giving those people dignity in their situation. And that's all we can do. Even Sean, who's in charge of West Side Homeless, is limited what he can do. So our hope is just to give them dignity for the day. And trust, Phil, it was such an enlightening experience. I mean, we were hands-on. They were so appreciative for us being there. We even brought them donuts. We talked with them. They're human beings. Some of them are drug addicts and alcoholics, etc. The others are just people like us that couldn't afford a house to live in. And it's all over the board. So it gives us give me gratitude to be doing that for them and appreciate what I'm doing on living in my life. And that's what Chris said. It's just, if you can, I know Saturday is a big day for you, but if you can manage for a few hours to come, you'll love it. It'll be really very special.
One of the reasons why we're going to include a second place, the area around the CVS on Westwood and Wellworth, is we want people to see us out on the street doing the cleanup. We have 6 vests that say Rotarians at Work. We'll be wearing those over in that site. And in future, and then also as we clean that up, if we find we have some extra time, I'm suggesting that we progress down Westwood Boulevard on both sides of the street and clean up as we go. A few weeks ago, Chris and Ben and I were on Westwood, and it was pretty messed up in certain spots. And then if time permits, again, we'll go down Westwood Boulevard And then as 11:30, 12 o'clock approaches, because we're doing this between 9 and 12, the group will proceed to walk back to Westwood Transitional Village, which, for those who don't know, it's south of Wilshire on the west side of the street, and it's a Salvation Army facility for families. But again, we don't want to always go back to the same spot. We want to do it other spots, but Cotner is pretty bad, and so I think a second visit to Cotner is in order. But I could see going back there every time maybe is not the best use of our time. We were even talking with the folks over at West LA Homeless about maybe walking Pico Boulevard. It's a little bit out of the Westwood Village footprint, maybe Westwood Village Rotary footprint, but on the other hand, still the west side, still an area that needs help, an area that would give us a lot of great visibility as well. So, we're hoping that this is something we do on a monthly basis, but we want everyone's involvement. If somebody on the board, or I should say in the club, says, hey, how about this? We're right there listening to you. So this is not Ben's deal, nor Steve's deal, or Chris's deal. This is the club's deal. So we want everyone's involvement on this. As it is, due to a previous scheduling conflict, I won't be there this time, but Ben and Chris will be running it, and they'll do a great job.
So, and just stepping in there for a second, when I first joined Rotary, I was told that there would be service projects. And this is really, January 28th was the first service project that I was involved in. And that's what I want to do on a regular basis, is be out there doing service for the community. And I think the more we do that, the more members, younger people, other people will want to be members of our group because they're contributing to the service in their community. And I'm excited about it. This is the greatest thing that I've done recently. And I want to keep on doing it.
Benjamin, don't forget that you helped do the Christmas shopping spree, and you're helping with this Passion of the Arts. So you're doing stuff.
Well, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying hands-on in the streets where I take for granted and I just drive by and I don't want to even look at it. We were there giving them dignity. Gordon will tell you. Gordon, wasn't it an incredible experience? You're muted. You're muted, Gordon. You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah. Most people like it when I'm muted, but anyway.
That's
yes, it was incredible. Thank you, Terry.
In this regard, Gordon, step in, please.
It was very eye-opening and very worthwhile. And I like the fact that we are going to vary the venues a little bit.
And as we try to organize and succeed in doing service projects, it doesn't always have to be a cleanup project. We have another project, I should say Aaron has through his Avenue of Service, we have a project on March 11th, which I am going to participate in. It's at the Tongva Gabrielino site on the campus of Uni High. It's a Native American camping area, or a site from hundreds of years ago. Anyway, they're in need of assistance in beautifying the area. It's like a national park, or I should say a state park there. And so Aaron's organizing, and it's not a cleanup, it's a beautification, in that we're going to be planting flowers, we're going to be fertilizing, we'll be raking. So please consider participating in that event. It'll be Saturday, March 11th in the morning, and more information will be coming out on that.
Chris,
And
let's let Yang introduce himself.
Go ahead.
Hey everyone, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
First, I wanted to thank Mark for introducing me to the group. I was actually looking for a Rotary club to join recently, because previously I had several experience with the Rotary club in different cities in Hong Kong and San Marino, and I have been I'm a tech person. I program, I do coding, I build robots, and but I have been in the industry of healthcare robotics for almost 10 years. And I have been making the rehabilitation robots, healthcare robots for elderly facilities. And now it's eye surgery robots for automating the cataract surgery for elderly people. I'm working very hard on weekdays, but on weekends I would like to do something with Rotary clubs. That's one of the reasons I want to join the Rotary clubs. And I look around. Actually, Westwood Village was one of the Rotary clubs that put their schedules on website, so I know what you guys are doing, and it seems more interesting than the other clubs, which um, seems more like a business or social events. So that's about me. And one thing special about me is I swim every day. So I'm pretty active in swimming, almost 1 mile per day. And regarding the March 4th activity, I'm glad to join. I just need to move my swim training that day earlier in the morning. I scheduled 7:30 on Sepulveda. I can reschedule on 7 o'clock. So just to share one interesting thing to everyone, so that you guys know more about me.
Thank you.
Yang, is that the Sepulveda Community Center, Westwood, on Sepulveda, south of Wilshire?
It's now called the Equinox Sports Club on Sepulveda.
Okay.
And
By the way, he was about to share something, Mark.
oh
Well-
yeah, yeah. One more thing is my wife is a mathematician at UCLA, and she is doing the very theoretical research, and she's wrapping up her PhD program very soon. And she wants to be a professor someday, and I'm in the industry, so that's how this couple looks like.
Oh, good.
Well, so your wife could be also a member. You know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Ah, you see?
Same price.
Same, yes, same price.
Yeah, Yang,
Oh,
you
okay.
said something that caught my attention. You said that you're working on robotics for cataract surgery.
Yes, this
And
is
some
my
of us have
current.
had cataract surgery, and it's rather a quick surgery. You know, the ophthalmologist goes in, makes a slice, pulls it out, puts in pulls out the lens, puts in the artificial lens.
Mhm.
Um,
Actually, I'm the director of the software in this company, and my boss, which is the CEO of the company, he is a ophthalmologist from UCLA. So this is
But he's
actually
got to know, he has to know Dr. Sean Lin, right?
I think so.
Yeah. You,
What is his name?
His name is Jean-Pierre Hauptmann.
oh, okay.
And yeah, this is a kind of a spin-off from UCLA, and we're actively pushing the progress forward.
Good
all right,
job.
well, I'd love to hear more about it.
Because one
Interesting.
thing using robot is if the cut is smaller, people get recovered faster.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about me.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I think that we will close early today. And I would like to encourage all of you to please be at our next meeting. Tell family and friends, and let me know if you are planning on bringing guests, so we can be prepared for more people. Set up for at least 40, and I think that we could have more. Yes, Phil?
Just real quick, we still need judges for the Pageant of the Arts at Uni on March 8th. Generally, we get there around 3:30, and we can meet at the administration office. There's parking usually along the street there, especially if you come just after the buses leave. But we do need more judges. There's 3 or 4 different. There are music. I think music has 2 different categories. One is for instrumental and the others for singing.
Oh,
And then I think there's dance, and one other one. So, and even if you're not quite a Rotary member yet, if you want to join us for one of those events, happy to have you. It's a very rewarding and interesting experience. So we do need more judges. So it takes about 3 hours, like 4 to 6:30. So I think if anybody wants to speak to their experience 2 or 3 years ago, that'd be great. But we do need more people. So
Okay. All right, Taya, please put that in the windmill. Anybody else have any final thoughts or comments?
Ron Leister, can you tell me how I grab this recording since I'm doing the scribe today?
Yeah, I'll have it up within an hour or so. Just go to the website and click on the link.
Okay, good. So,
All right, thank you for our two visiting potential people. If you have any questions, Meyer or Yang, please feel free to reach out to Mark. He'll address anything that you can ask him, and we'd love to have the opportunity to see you again. We are dismissed. Bye-bye.
bye, everybody.